The most peculiar thing in my resume would be that I had no internship experience. The primary reason I would say is that Uber gave me, so that was a secondary reason, and that's why I chose Uber over Google.
So hello guys, so today we have with us Mr. Pragya Rastogi, a fourth year undergraduate student of the Department of Computer Science Engineering who recently grabbed an internship offer from Uber, and he had also got an offer from Google, and we'll get into the details of all of these. So Pragya, would you like to introduce yourself, like anything you want to add to your introduction?
So basically, yeah, I was always known as a computer programmer. I started it very early, from my third semester, and it was something which I was very interested in, as a passion. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, great. So, like, coming on to your preparation for software roles, for your preparation for Uber and Google. So, how did you exactly prepare for like CDC or the internship season of IIT Kharagpur?
Well, for CDC specific preparation, I started uh, at around June, like, yeah, just kind of before June or early June, and I'd already uh, decided that I would be doing interview specific problems from Lead Code. Like, there's a certain difference between normal computer programming and interview specific problems. So to adjust to that and get familiar with the typical interview problems, this is required like just 2 or 3 months before your CDC. So I used to solve questions from Lead Code, like few questions, medium or hard difficulty daily, and it was also to maintain my speed, my coding practices, like, of course, so the preparation part of problem solving skills is different, but then there's this, you have to follow good programming practices. Then there's error free coding. Of course, you don't want to make bugs in front of the interviewer. So all that comes from paying attention to that while you're preparing. So I advise others to do this just 2 months before CDC, to pay attention on this part, that how many compilation errors are you making, how fast can you type, you know, stuff like that.
Okay,
So that was, Lead Code is quite sufficient.
okay, got it. And before lead code, like, what is the rating, like, what is the level of computer programming that you did? Like, because I think that created a base for you in terms of problem solving and DSN algorithms. So, in terms of rating, say in Code Forces or Code Chef, like, what was the rating did you have, and like, if you could tell us that.
Well, like, I like to tell from the start.
Okay, cool.
So when I started in third semester, so at that time there wasn't this much of awareness about CP, and there was no one to guide us. You know, students from my batch were actually uh, going out of their rooms and telling people about CP. So that batch was the one where this trend started to make people aware about CP. So yeah, so there was no one there to guide us. So we were just randomly, solving problems on Code Chef, spending hours in long challenges, so which was a bit wasteful. Uh, so by the end of second year, um, during third year, I was familiar with Code Forces, and then also I started preparing, realizing how I should prepare. So starting taking up easier problems and then moving on to the harder ones, up solving and stuff like that. So that all that we learned from the community of Code Forces, which I really love and advise to all. So once you get into that mode, so you are solving questions daily and you're learning new things. Of course, you're learning new algorithms daily and tricks. So at that time, my level was expert, and during the summer of 2019, uh, I gave like decent amount of preparation time in my summers. So after the summers, when the semester started, I hit candidate master, which was a moment of happiness for me. And so yeah, that trend continued. We used to prepare for ICPC and other competitions, Kickstart too. So and later into 2020, I hit master in March, May or something.
Wow.
So it was just regular practice, and you just keep on learning different tricks. There's so much to learn, and CP is very different from other topics. You don't study CP, you don't study theory and then solve problems. There's a very different approach to learning it. Of course, it would vary from individual to individual, but uh, what I believe is you learn CP through solving problems. And yeah, then just editorials, they teach you a lot, discussions. So again, the community plays an important role.
Okay. Okay. So, like, talking about CP, like, how much of CP is actually required? And, like, you told about interview specific preparation as well. So, like, is CP sufficient when you're sitting for your college internship, or, like, do we need to do those specific to DS Algo interview preparation?
Well, there's a certain problem solving skill that you have to develop. There's no guarantee that you would see a problem that you have already solved. So that doesn't help you. So you need to be able to solve new problems in like 5 or 10 minutes, right? You only get that much time for thinking. The rest is for uh, building up on it and explaining your thought process to the interviewer. So to solve a new problem in 5 or 10 minutes, you have to develop a certain level of thinking, which comes from at least hitting, I would say, expert in code forces. Or like if you uh, for people who are active on code chef, just try to hit that 4 star 5 star line. But it's quite different because long challenge is very uh, different from all this,
Yeah.
so it's hard to judge from that. But yeah, just common algorithms everyone needs to be aware of, and a expert rating would be sufficient for CDC, I would say.
Okay. Okay, got it. So, like, this was the preparation. So, now let's get on to your interview experience of Uber. Okay. So, can you please tell me, like, what was the coding test like, and, like, tell your interview experience right from the coding test till the last interview? So, let's start from the coding test. Yeah.
So initially in the coding test, it was I didn't find them very hard. They were like, of course your practice helps. So uh, certain interviews like Google, they were still messed up because of some random problems that were unsolvable or very tough. But on an average, coding tests just be on your form, that daily form of practice, so that uh, so once you're in the form, you just you're in that mode, and you just solve problems efficiently, less time. Mostly they're not that tough. They're uh, Google's coding problems were well div to C level, I would say. And Uber's was like, so there were three problems in Uber's test, and the first one was an interesting one actually. So if one decided to solve that problem in C++, it would be quite lengthy and frustrating. So but it was trivial to solve in Python because of that long numbers capacity. So that was interesting. Second problem was on bit manipulation, which was okay. Third was on TP, which was a good problem, and I would say it was div to D.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a mix of div to C and D problems. sometimes B also. Other companies like GS and Quad Eye, they focus more on quantitative problems, numerical reasoning and stuff, and some subjective problems, and some simple coding problems which aren't too tough.
Okay, like, can you tell me about like your other interviews, like your first round or second round of Uber? Like, how many rounds did you have?
Okay, so actually before the interview started, it was 5 a.m. and I just woken up, and I got a call that okay, your interview is right on 5 a.m.
Arey baap.
They told me this earlier, that it would start from 5 a.m. But you know the typical KGP thing that if you are told the thing starts at this time, you won't be there. So, well, yeah. So it was a bit rushed. Anyways, I was sitting in front of my laptop at 5 a.m. So the first round was of Uber, and uh, directly they hit me with a graph problem, which Uber is known for. So it was a directed graph problem with a little bit of implementation of modified Dijkstra.
Okay.
And so my interviews of Uber and Google were interlaced. So first round was of Uber, then Google, then Uber,
Nice.
and so Uber took 3 rounds in total, and Google took two.
Okay. So,
So Uber's second round was simple implementation of. So they gave a description of a system, and you just had to implement the functions, and in an object-oriented way, which was easy. The third round was an HR round, and it was quite relaxing after all these coding rounds. So the two Uber and two Google's coding rounds. So after that, just had to relax and talk with the HR. It was quite refreshing, and that went well. The interviewer was friendly. In contrast, the coding rounds of Uber, which they were quite rushed. So the interviewers were not interested in hearing about your logic or stuff. They just wanted to dive into the implementation.
okay.
On other side, Google interviewer, they asked you to explain to them what you have came upon your approach, and then start implementing. So remember to ask your interviewer, like realize what your interviewer expects. Does he want you to code directly or not?
Yeah.
So, and Google's interviewers were very friendly. The first problem, so the both all these rounds were of 45 minutes with a single problem asked.
Okay.
And Google's first problem was div to C. It was a standard prefix sum based problem. The second round was a bit hard. It was on strongly connected components and directed graphs. I didn't actually complete my solution in the second round. We didn't hit the optimal solution. We were just discussing when the time ran up. And yeah, so that was it for Google. So of course they don't tell you the result right then. So
And
and then Uber's round was completed, third round, and then I gave a couple of interviews of different companies, and that was the hardest time for me, that 2 hour gap, because my posture was broken. Like initially I was in my cool mindset, but then after both these Google and Uber, I was a bit shaken up. So the later rounds it didn't go as well. But then I got a message at 2 p.m. that I have an offer from Uber. So
wow, great. So, like, was there any HR round for Google, or
no.
they were all technical, right? Okay. And what was the platform that each of these questions were asked, like for Uber and Google?
So Uber had its own platform.
Okay.
They have their own platform, which I don't remember right now,
Is it like
for coding.
Is it like Google Docs, or like can you run your solution?
You can, although the interviewer might not give you the access.
Okay.
It's a completely different ID and all.
Okay.
Google's, of course, was on Google
Yeah.
Docs. Also, almost all other companies that I gave interviews of took the interview on Google Docs.
Okay. Got it. Okay, got it. So, like, this was your interview experience of Google and both Uber. So, can you please tell me, like, when you were selected for Uber, so what do you think the recruiters were looking for, like, when they were hiring Uber interns?
Um, well, from the first two coding interviews, what I uh, realized was they were looking for someone who can, uh, who follows the good coding practices. Actually, the interviewer in the first round complimented me on my choice of functions. So I had to break the code in two or three functions, and he said that this is good that you made a different function for this task, this subtask. So yeah, that I think they were focusing on that. Second round was also simple implementation. So how clean can your implementation be? I think they focus on that. So, yeah.
Okay, got it. So, like, they focus mainly on clean code and how well your functions are made, like like basically how well you write your code, and that's what they were looking for. You told. So, okay, now this is the question of, like, I'm sure this question will pop up in every viewer's mind, every person who's watching this. So, why did you exactly choose Uber over Google? Like, what was your thinking when you chose this?
The primary reason I would say is that Uber gave me offer much earlier, right? So it relaxed all my tension. But then there was also this thing in the back of my mind that Google, is very highly sought after. All the best talent wants to go into Google, and there's this hype of Google. So I believe that Uber would be much more uh, less competitive than Google. I would be able to go at my own pace in Uber instead of Google. So that was a secondary reason, and that's why I chose Uber over Google.
Okay, got it. Like what you just described is basically a dream dilemma for any person. Like, where should I go, Uber or Google? Like the two best companies in the world right now, and I'm sure like you have made your right choice, and the choice absolutely depends on you. Like what you want to go and what you want your career to be like. So first, congratulations for that. And so let's come on to your resume. Okay, like so, what did your resume exactly look like when you were preparing for these companies, and what does a good resume constitutes of while applying for Uber, Google, or similar companies?
Well, the most peculiar thing in my resume would be that I had no internship experience, right?
Okay.
So I was just preparing for ICPC in my third year summers. So yeah, so there was no internship experience, but there were a couple of projects from my branch, lab projects. So, and there were a couple others which I took up on my own for casual development in Python. There was a small stuff, nothing really exciting. But yeah, I had given a lot of competitions like Hacker Cup, Kickstart, ICPC. So all those ranks were mentioned in my resume, which I think played a part in my shortlisting. And to be specific about Google, there's one thing that they look for in every resume: a rank in Google Kickstart or
Yeah.
CodeJam. So of course I had those. Um, so these are conducted by Google, and so they give a particular importance to this. And apart from these, I guess, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And
CG,
so,
my CG was 9.2, so that was
okay, so like you said about personal projects, so people can indeed put their personal projects in their CV, right? Like this does not play any issue while applying for companies. Like,
well, yeah. If you're learning something new and developing something, then of course you can put it.
okay. Okay, great. So, like, what are some final tips that you'd like to give to students who are sitting for the internship or who are applying even off campus to companies like Uber, Google, or similar big companies, big tech companies? So, what are some tips that you'd like to give to people like these?
First of all, be confident in your interviews, right? When you communicate with your interviewer, they should get to see that you have come prepared and you're oozing with confidence. And one most very important thing is to be able to communicate your thought process to the interviewer. When you are thinking on an approach of a problem, it need not be optimal, it need not be the best approach, but whatever you get, you are thinking right at that moment, you should be able to speak it loud and then think along with speaking, right? So I saw this in a couple of cases where people aren't able to interact with the interviewer, whereas which it could also depend on the interviewer whether he or she wants to interact with you a lot. So there's that, and be prepared. Like if you are if your preparation is good, you've solved a lot of problems, so it would help you in thinking the logic quickly and in being confident. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, like thank you so much, Pragya. I think the people are going to absolutely love this interview and love the little tips and the total interview experience that you gave of Uber as well as Google. So thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you like this too.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.